Yeah, hi team. So good morning. So we can start in 5 minutes. Other people later join, right? Yeah, hi all. So shall we start or anyone to join?
Yeah, you can start, Vira.
Yeah. Okay. So meanwhile, so do you have any questions?
No, Vira.
So did you practice in that case yesterday?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So do not hesitate. So anyone, if you're having any issues, so you can ping me even like one-to-one also no problem. But finally, just complete the lab. That's it only. Okay. So far we discuss how to create our own network, VPC and subnet, and how to create our AWS custom network, creation of AWS custom network, and also AWS EC2 creation and AWS EC2 connect. So we discuss these three modules. So here I will show you one thing, especially for CIDR range that is pending here. So I will just show you. So CIDR. So CIDR is nothing but classless. So classless interdomain, excuse me, domain range or routing. So this CIDR decides the size of the VPC. So this CIDR, if decides the size of the VPC means, so based on this VPC range, we can create our network range. So for example, so directly we'll go for practical. So, okay, first I will show you here. So if I take any sample IPv4 range, okay, here the value of the after forward slash, whatever value I'm giving here, this is net mask. So this value is for net mask. So this net mask value decides the range of the CADL. For example, so as I discussed yesterday, this value we need to subtract from 32 minus and whatever value is the net mask, we have to give like this. So the resultant is 16. So why 32 means? So we have to understand. So this is IPv4 bit. IPv4 bit means we know the relation, right? Bit equal to, so whatever the bytes. So excuse me. Yeah. So here, okay. So here, if I'm going to divide here, my range 10, 0, and 0, and 0, like this. Okay. So here, each digit we will call as a octet. Here, each digit we will call a octet. So octet means the value is 8. Okay. So the octet means the value is 8. So total 4 octets. So 4 octets means 4 into 8 equal to 32. So like that. So we can call this is byte or octet. Each digit we can call a octet. We can consider as a octet or byte. So here octet and byte, if you can see here, each byte equal to or each octet equal to 8. So each byte equal to 8 bits. Each byte equal to 8 bits. So in this case, total I have 4 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here 4 into 8 equal to 32. 32. That's what we need to subtracting from 32 here. So here the value of the 16 is, if you can see here, the resultant is 16, right? So we have to calculate 2 power 16 like this. The 2 power 16 value is, I think, 65,536 something. So in this case, if you can use the net mask value is the 16. So if I give this range to my VPC is able to generate these many IPs. So these many IPs means, so VPC inside we will create a multiple subnets. So each subnet we can host for multiple servers. So like that, if I create a one server, we have to give one IP, private IP. It will take like that. The servers, if you can create 100 servers, 100 IPs are required. 1000 servers, 1000 IPs are required. So this VPC is able to generate 65,536 IPs. In this case, the network size of the VPC is 65,536 IPs able to generate. In this case, whatever device, if you are configure inside, so each it can take an IP means the range of the VPC is able to generate 65,560. In this case, if I take one more example, here. So in this example, if I give 10.0.0.0 by, for example, 20 6 or 28. So if I give 28, again, we need to subtract from 28. So which is equal to 4, which is equal to 16. 2 power 4 is 16, right? So in this case, this VPC range is able to generate only 16 IPs. In this case, maybe you can create only 4 instances only or 6 instances only inside this VPC. I mean, instances will be created inside subnet, right? Like that. So the max range of the value is 16. So whenever you can give net mask value is less, the resultant value will be more. The reason we have to subtract from 32, right? Whenever we can subtract from the 32, the value will be less means the resultant will be more. In this case, the resultant will be more means the 2 power 16 is more. So like that. So AWS is saying that take minimum value as a 16. Minimum as 16 means IPs will be more. And max as 28. So 28 max value means these are net mask values. The resultant value will be more, less. The reason we have a range till 32. You can use 32 also. For example, if I use a 32, the net mask value, if I use 32, 32 minus 32 equal to 0. So nothing is there. If I use 31, 32 minus 31 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2. I'm able to generate 2 IPs. So if I use 34, if I use 29, 8, if I use 28, 16. Like that, the values will be, the IPs will be generated. So AWS is saying that max value you can use 28 only, don't use 29. If I use 29, the resultant value will be 8. So for example, the net mask value is 29. The resultant value will be 32 minus 29, which is equal to 8. I mean 2 power 3, which is equal to 8. So 8 IPs means the AWS for internal configuration, they are allocating 5 IPs by default. Five IPs for internal configurations. In this case, you have only 3. So in this case, 8 minus 5 equal to 3. 3. So you can only generate 3 IPs only. So that's what. If you give 29, you are able to generate 3 IPs. So your VPC size is 3 IPs means there is no use. Even only we can create a subnet only. But inside instance, we cannot. So that's what AWS is saying, that better to give 28 as a maximum value, not for 29. If you give it 28, so at least you will get a 16 IPs. After by the 16, if you subtract 5, we have at least 11 IPs. But anyway, in the real practice, we will use mostly 16. So better if you can give the highest value. Future, maybe if you want to increase the servers, if you want to increase the subnets, better to give 16 so that the maximum size of the VPC is 16. If you can give, you will get a 65.56. So like that, we can do it. And here we need to understand one more thing, the range. So if I give 28, the resultant is 16 IPs, right? So for example, how the range will start, we can understand here. For example, if I give 28 here, total IPs are 16. 16 IPs. In this case, the range will start 10.0.0, 10.0.0.1, like that, 10.0.0.02. Like that, the series will end at 10.0.0.15. So this is the IPs. So whenever if we can give the 10.0.0.28 means 16 IPs VPC will be generated. Those 16 IPs will be allocated for your instances. So in this range, your instance will pick any one of the IP for the private IP only, not public IP. Public IP is not depends on this range. Public IP will give the SYA. So it is not depends on the private. So if I create, if I use this range for VPC, my instance may pick any one of the IP here. but instance will not pick this value 10.0.0.28, something 29. The 29 is not there in the range. So that's what you will get. The max range is 0 to 15 only. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 16 IPs will come here. So this is one IP. So IP number 1. So this is IP number 15, like that. Yeah, 16, sorry. So series start from 0, so it will be end at 15. Like that we need to understand. And here we need to understand very important thing is instance will be created inside subnet, not inside VPC, right? So the subnet range should be in the range, should be in the range of VPC, in the range or equal. Or equal range of VPC. In this condition, the statement is subnet range should be in the range or equal range of VPC is nothing but this is the note. For example, my VPC range. So this is my VPC. So my VPC, this is the line of the VPC for your understanding. Yeah. So your subnet range should be there equal range of VPC or less than range of VPC, but not more than range of VPC. The reason subnet is there inside the VPC. In that case, the range should be there inside only. If you give like this means you are not in the range of VPC, but subnets will be created in the inside of VPC means VPC will allocate some IPs, some range for subnets means VPC able to allocate some range to subnet means definitely the subnet should be in the range only, not above the range or equal. So for example, if you can see my VPC CIDR range is 10.0.0.0 28 if I give or 26.7 if I give. Okay, the value is 32. So here the value of the subnet, you can give entire range 10.0.0.0.27 subnet or you can give only 16 IPs. So if I want to give 16 IPs, the range of the subnet would be like 10.0.0.0 by 28. 28 values, 32 minus 20, 2 power 4, 4 equal to 16 IPs. So like that we have to give first subnet. So remaining, if I give the value is 16 here. So you can create one more subnet. Again, you can create one more subnet. Still we have a 16 IPs left, right? VPC is 13 IPs means you are using 16 IPs for subnet. So in this case, you can create one more subnet. We have a provision to create one more subnet. That subnet range, again, if you start like this way means it will overlap. The reason 10.0.0.0 already allocated for subnet 1. 10.0.0.01 already allocated for subnet 1. Meaning is, so here my IPs are allocated for this subnet is 10.0.0.02 10.0.0.15. This range already allocated for this subnet. In this case, the next subnet range will start from where the first subnet will end, like this. So if it is a 32 means, so the range will start from 16 here. 10.0.0.16 and ends at 10.0.0.0, 31 or 32, like this. So what we can understand from this, subnets are in the range of VPC and it should not overlap. This is very important. Okay. In this case, let's go and check the practical directly for better clarity here. I'm going for create a VPC here. So I'm logging here. Okay. So let's focus here now. I'm going to create a one VPC here with that range. Create VPC. So here I'm going to create a VPC. My custom VPC. You can give any name, no problem. I'm giving just custom VPC. So here, CIDR block size must be between 16 and 28. That's what we discuss here. So if I give 10.0.0.0, for example, by 24. So this is my VPC. Okay, that just in VPC, just give the name and select the CIDR only, the creation of VPC. So now my VPC is ready. So I need to create a subnet. Create a subnet. So subnets are in the range of so inside the VPC only. So I'm selecting this VPC. So yeah, my custom VPC I have created just now, right? This is. So if you can see here, this is VPC CIDR range. Whatever CIDR range we have chosen for VPC. Just for reference, it is showing that my custom subnet 1 I'm creating now. So I've selected my VPC inside subnet only created. So I need to give my subnet CIDR range here. So this subnet CIDR range should be in the range of VPC. This is for just reference they are giving here. Your VPC range is this one. I have given this one. Okay. So your subnet range in the range of VPC or equal range of VPC. So for example, if I give equal range of VPC means I'm taking entire IPs for this subnet only. So 24 means 256 IPs. So let's go here. We can see the just understanding drawing here. This is my VPC. My VPC size is 256 IPs. So my VPC CIDR range is here. VPC CIDR range here 10.0.0.0 by 24. If you give like this, your VPC is able to generate 256 IPs for your subnet or whatever. So now if you create a subnets, if you want to create a two subnets, for example, these two subnets should allocate these IPs by sharing these IPs like equal range, or you can give any, for example, these subnets are required for only 16 IPs. So 16 IPs when it will come, so 10.0.0.28, like that we can give. For example, 32 IPs are required. So you can give 10.0.0.27. Like that the series will you have to give. Or if you want to use 256 IPs, you can create a subnet also, same range. As we discussed, subnets range should be in the range or equal range of VPC, but not of the range. So if you can give the in the range means, for example, this is VPC line. If you give same range for subnet means your subnet line will come here. Means your VPC subnet, whatever VPC is giving the IPs, only subnet one is taking. Means there is no second subnet, third subnet you are unable to create. In this case, let's go and I will show you here. See, for example, I'm creating a subnet for entire range, same range of VPC range. In this case, let's create a subnet. Okay. So my VPC range, my subnet range, both are same. So if you want to create one more subnet again in the same VPC, my custom subnet 2, I'm going to create a second subnet. So this is the VPC range. Now if I give 10.0.0 again, if you try to create this, you will get an error, CADR address overlap with existing subnet CADR. The meaning is the scenario when the subnet also, if you can give like this way, 10.0.0.0 by 24 means whatever range of the VPC is able to generate, everything, all range you are using for subnet 1 only. In this case, subnet also 256 IPs taking from VPCs means there is no other subnet is able to create. All IPs are allocated for only one subnet. So in this case, you are unable to create the subnet. So if you try to give this range, it is not at all possible. This value is not in the range of 24. In the range of 24 means the value should be more value of the net mask. For example, this is 24, right? If I give 25 means, if I give net mask value 25 means 32 minus 25, 2 power the value, whatever value will come, that is less than the 24 value. So if you give 23 means 512 IPs, but your VPC is able to generate 256 IPs, but from where subnet will be create 512 IPs? So this is not at all possible. So if you try to create a subnet with the 512 IPs, so the error is different now. The CIDR address overlap with the existing subnet. Okay, it is giving like this way. Anyway, it should be give the VPC is not out there in the range like that. Anyway, our understanding is very clear. This is VPC's net mask value. 24 means 24 is nothing but 256 IPs. But if you try to give 23 means 512 IPs, it is not at all possible. You can give 24 to use everything, or you can give 25 or 128 IPs. Like that we can give it. So if you try to give again 25 IPs, again CIDR overlap with the existing subnet. So what I can understand from this, my subnet already created for same range of VPC means you are unable to create even one more subnet. In this case, I'm going to delete this subnet. And again, I will create the subnet with the different range. Let's go here. Yeah, this one. So once we give the range of CIDR, we cannot modify again. So better, that's what I am saying. We cannot increase the CIDR range while creating VPC time. Better to take more value like 16. 16 means higher range, 65,000 IPs. You can give any subnet inside. If you can take a more range, more value in the net mask, so we have to stick on some CID IPs. So better to give VPC as a more range. Anyway, so let's go to create a subnet now. So my end, I have deleted a subnet, whatever I have created for the same range. Now this is my again same VPC. Again, you need to understand one more thing here. I'm creating one more time my custom subnet from the scratch. So here, if I give 24 means I'm able to create a subnet. The range of IP, what IPs, whatever VPC is creating, everything I'm using for this subnet only. In this case, I'm unable to create one more subnet. In this case, I'm trying to give here, for example, 26. are 25. If I give 25 means I can generate 128 IPs. So we have still 128 IPs. In this case, if I use this, okay, if I use this 128 IPs means the series will start from 10.0.0.02 to 128 IPs. Let's go to Excel. So my VPC is able to generate 256 IPs here. So able to generate 256 IPs means what we can understand here, 10.0.0.0 by 24. The resultant value will be 256 IPs. In this case, my series will start like this, 10.0.0.1. Like this, the series will end at 255. Okay, 10.0.0.0 to 10.0.0.255. So these many IPs is able to generate, these many IPs able to generate your VPC. So these IPs only we can use for your subnets or instances and whatever it is. In this case, if I give my subnet CID are also same like this. If I give my subnet CID range also same like this, what will happen here? The entire VPC IPs you are using here. In this case, we are unable to create one more subnet. The range of the IPs creating by VPC, everything you are using for one subnet only. In this case, we are unable to create a subnet 2. So that's what we need to organize here. Your requirement is how many subnets. So whenever if you can give the 24 value for VPC, definitely you need to calculate the subnets. If you give 16, no need to worry about 65,000 IPs are there. So we can create multiple subnets. But in this case, I cannot create 100 subnets. I cannot create 10 subnets with this range. 10 subnets means it is not possible to create. 28 is the last, 24 is my range. 25, 26, 27, 28. 29 is not recommended by AWS. So 4 range I can give. So definitely it is not possible to create 10 subnets. If the range is 16 means I can create multiple subnets. Anyway, if I give 24 just for understanding only. So here the range of the subnet, if I give 25, for example, if you give 23 means it should be more than value of the VPC. So it is not possible. So if I give 25 here, the series will start. So these are VPC IPs. From this VPC IPs, I'm allocating for this subnet. 25 means 128. 0.0.1. So subnet 1, if I give 25 net mask value, it will use for 128. So like this, you can pull here till 127. So already the subnet 1, the range 25, if I give, the resultant value will be here 128. So first subnet is taking 128 IPs, 127 IPs. In this case, you can create one more subnet also. Still we have a 127 IPs. Still we have 128 IPs to 255. These are empty, right? You can use for one more subnet. In that case, yes, I'm creating a first subnet with 25. Yes, create a subnet. You can create one more subnet. Still we have IP range. My custom VPC. So my custom subnet 2. Now second subnet I'm creating here. The range of 24 of VPC, right? So 10.0.0.0 by 25. If you give like this, if you try to create here, see, CIDR address overlaps with existing subnet CIDR range. The reason, whenever you can give like this, again the series will start from 10.0.0.0 end at 128 IPs. But the same range already we have taken, right? So if you give 26, 64 IPs only. Yes. Out of 256 IPs, 128 IPs already used for subnet 1. In this case, 64 IPs if I use for subnet 2, again one more 64 IPs I can use for subnet 3. Like that you can manage. But here again I'm getting an error. The reason, whenever you can give the value here, yes, IPs is we have a 64 IPs. Yes, we have a chance to create 64 IPs, but you need to understand one thing. Whenever you can give like this, again the series will start from 10.0.0.01. But here if you can see 10.0.0 already allocated for one subnet. This series already allocated for one subnet. Till here. So it will already, so these range already given for subnet 1. So we have a left IP server 1, the range will start from 128 only. So in this case, if you give 0, it will not take. Okay. In this case, what we can give here? 128. If you try to give 122, for example, by 25, again you will get error. 122 already there in first subnet series. So if you give 124, same issue. If you give 123, same issue. If you give 128, see, no error. The reason, first subnet already taken 10.0.0 to 127. So the first subnet end here. The first subnet end here. So we have these many IPs. So I'm using series from here. So let me connect the charger. Okay. So we can start from here for the next subnet. So if you give again, we can give same net mask value also, no problem. So if I give 25, same 128 IPs will be allocated for subnet 2. But first subnet series will start from 10.0.0.2.0.2 to 127. Second subnet start from 10.0.2.0 to 128 to 256. That's what. If I give like this, again 10.0.0.0 128. I'm meaning, so I can take this range till here to the last. Control C. Control. So this is second subnet 2. So subnet 2 series already ended same VPC range now. So all IPs we have allocated. VPC is able to generate 256 IPs. So the 256 IPs are allocated for 2 subnets. Now if you try to create one more subnet. So my custom subnet 1, my custom subnet 2 is created. Okay. Let me give the name of this. Yeah, created. If you try to give one more subnet again, so it is not possible. The reason 24, the range already we have taken for 256 IPs, 128 for one subnet, 128 for one subnet. So we don't have any left IPs here to allocate to even 29 also not, 8 IPs also not possible. The reason, CIDR address overlap. 10.0.0 already there for subnet 1. If you try to give, for example, here any value 254, 254 also already overlap. So like this, you need to understand the CAD. Here, the last thing is, one more important thing is, if my range is 24, so let's delete all subnets. I will show you the last approach. Okay, so here, so instead of giving VPC is a 28 and all, I give max value. Max value means here 16. If you give 16, I'm able to generate 65,000 IPs. So you can create multiple subnets. The earlier case, I'm able to generate only 256 IPs. The reason, the CIDR net mask value I have taken 24. 32 minus 24, which is equal to 8, 2 power 8 is 256. So that I'm able to generate only 256 IPs. So in that case, how many subnets I can create in that VPC? So you can create 2 subnets, each subnet range is 128, 128. Or I can create 4 subnets, each subnet range is 64, 64. Or I can create 8 subnets, the range of 32, 32. Or I can create 16 subnets, the range of 16, 16. Or I can create 32 subnets, the range of 111 IP. Like that, we need to understand. So if I give 16 here, so definitely this is big VPC, 65,000 IPs. In this case, I can give my subnet here. Simply any subnet I can create. This is my VPC. Let me check which VPC. Okay. Okay, let me go here. Check the VPCs.
Excuse me, Vinu.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when we are creating this VPC, right, for the first VPC, you have added like 24 masks with 256 IPs.
Hmm.
Can we, can we extend the IPs of that VPC only, without creating another VPC? Can we extend that?
That's what I'm saying. Once you create a VPC with the CADR range, we cannot change.
Okay, okay.
Editing, there is no editing options. We have to delete and recreate. That's what, while creating time, better to give 16. 16 means more range. No need to modify further cases, right? If you
Okay.
use, you can use, later we can use otherwise. So better to go for maximum value. Maximum value means 16 range. If you can go like that, so better. So that's what, if whenever if I give a VPC 16 means I'm able to generate 65,000 IPs means, so future purpose, no need any, not require any modifications, even though system is not supporting. So no need to delete and recreate again VPCs. If you create VPC means it is not a simple task. Inside so many services are running, EC2, subnets. We have to delete first those services and delete the VPC. So that's what, first of all, while creating a VPC, better to take the more range. So again, I'm creating my custom VPC. Okay. So if I take here, if I give here 16 and when I create a VPC, so I can create multiple subnets here. Yeah. My custom subnet 1. So here if I give again 16, all IPs are locking for only one subnet. This is not at all recommended again. So you can give any 24. 24 means 65,536 IPs. If you use 24 means 256 IPs only you are taking. Okay. Yeah. Created a subnet 1. So again, so my VPC is able to generate 65,000. In this case, the very important step is here to understand is, if I give 16 here, the IPs are not 256, 65, 536 IPs. In that case, the series will end at 65,536, right? But it is not like that. What we need to understand here, the very important is here. Yeah, the very important step is here. Once series end at 255, okay, 65, the before case, my IPs are able to generate only 256. The range of net mask value is 24. But here the net mask value is 16. So the series will continue here, 256, 257, 258, like that 65,000. It is not like that, guys. Once a series will end at 255 only, the highest value of the value is 255 only. Again, the next series will start 0.1.0. So why 10.0.0. already done? Now second series will start 10.0.1.0 and 10. I will tell you why. 1.1. So it will end at 10.0.1.255. Again, next series will start 10.0.2.0. Series will end at 10.0.2.255. Okay. Next series will start 10.0.3. Like that, it will end finally 255.250. And again, the next series will start 10.1.00. Like that. And the series will end at finally 10.255.255.255. So why it is like that? So the reason is, guys, this is this is 8-bit. Okay. So IPv4, if I take 8-bit means, if I take highest 8-bit means, if I convert into binary form, 0000000 8 zeros, which is equal to 0. If I give highest value of 8-bit binary is 11111. 8 ones are equal to 255. If you want to generate 256, the range of IPv4 will not support. So the value should be all ones, means if you want to write a 256, sorry, this is 256. So if you want to write a 258 value of the binary form, 8 digits already filled with ones, means 9 digits, 9 series will come again about 256. For example, if I give 1 value, 2 power 0, 2 power 1, so which is equal to 3. If I want to write a 4 for binary form, which is not possible for two digits here, 2 digit here, I have to go for 3 digit for 4. So 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, like this I can give. So for 4. So like that, if I want to write a 16, so 3 digit is not fine for 16. In this case, I should switch to 4 digit, like that. So what we can understand, the series we can increase per max value. But here, there is some limitations. IPv4 is 8-bit. 8-bit means the value should be increased, we can till 256 only, not for 257. In this case, the series will shift. It will not come here. So if I take here, this is the value is, as I discussed, 1 byte equal to 8 bits, right? Total 4 bytes. Byte 1, byte 2, byte 3, byte 4. Each byte equal to 8 bits means, so here this value will come 11111111, 8 ones, 255. So it will not come 9 ones for the increase the value of the 256 and all. So that's what the value will shift from, the series will shift from 1. So it is not possible. Sorry, 256 till 256 it is possible. So 257 is not possible. 10.0.0.0. So 257 means, the 257 means this is what, if you can see here, as we discuss. Yeah, as we discuss, 4 bytes or 4 octets, each byte equal to 8 bits. This value depends on the 8 bits, means if you convert into the binary form, 8 bits means 1000 or 111, like this, 8 bits only. So if the range is 255, 256 means 8 bits, 8 ones, 33378. So if you need 257, definitely you need to increase 9th bit. So which is not possible for IPv4. In this case, the series will end at 256 only, or 255 only. So next series will start again, or next series will start again, and next series will start again. Like that it will work. So in this case, you need to understand one thing. So let me delete this subnet again for better clarity. So my VPC range is 16. So I'm giving here my subnet 1 today. You can give like this name. So I can give here 10.0.0.0 by 24. So 256 IPs for subnet 1. And I'm going to get one more subnet for the same VPC. So if I give here, okay, my custom subnet 2. If I give here 10.0.0. by 24, it is not possible. First 256, the series will start 10.0.0.022. 255 already taken subnet 1. So you can try different range. Different range means, so 256 means the series will end at last digit 256. In this case, this series will not work. So the value will shift from 1 here like this. So these 256 IPs, the series will start from 10.0.1.0, not for 0.0. Like that, it will end at where? 10.0.1.255. So next subnet you can create now. Next series you can take 10.0.2.0 now. 1. Series already done for subnet 2. So next series is 3, next series is 4, next series is 5. Like that you can create till 255. In this case, what we can understand, 255 subnets we can create for this range. After that, the value will shift here. Again, you can create one more 255 subnets for this range. So like that, we can create multiple subnets till support this range. So now I'm creating for third subnet 10.0.3.0. Like that, 356. So finally, what we can understand here, my VPC is 10.0.0.0 by 16 means it will create 65,000 IPs. In this case, I can use 65,536 IPs. So first subnet, if I take 10.0.0.0 by 24, you can give 25, you can give 18 also. You can give 17 also, you can give 16 also, but you are not supposed to give like this. If you give 18 means almost 55,000 IPs you are taking for only one subnet. So better to give less value, means you can give 20 also, no problem, or 23 also, no problem. But here the problem is not net mask. Series is very important. So net mask value, you can give same net mask value, no problem, but you should change the series. So this is for subnet 1, 256 IPs. Now subnet 2. So like this, subnet 2 10.0.1.0 series you can give like this. So subnet 2 like this you can give. Subnet 3. .0.2.0. The reason here one series will use all 256 IPs. Two series will use all 256 IPs. So you can change the digit for every subnet. So better. Like this, you can manage. Like this, we can manage here. So every subnet, I'm taking 256 IPs. You can give 25, 25 also. If you give 25, 512 IPs will take every subnet. But you need to understand one thing. For example, if I take a 23, 512 IPs coming means this 512 IPs are using both 0 series and 1 series also. And next subnet, if you give 1 series also, overlap will come, right? 512 IPs is nothing but 0 series of 256 IPs, 1 series of 256 IPs. In this case, subnet 2 will come 3 series and it will end at 4th series. And subnet 4 will come 5th series to 6th series. Why? 512 means this 256 plus this 256. Like that will come. Clear? Any questions?
Yeah, I'm clear with it.
So this is little need to do practice only related to maths and all. Any questions from others?
I'm clear, Veera.
Yeah, Veera.
Yeah. So the class recordings are available, right? The class recordings. How you can access the recordings? This is recording or not? Yeah, this recording. Okay. How you are accessing these recordings? Directly in the Teams or they are sending into that your mail IDs and how?
Not yet shared, Veera. Classes are regarding.
Okay, but if you go through the recordings, you will get better clarity.
Yeah, I will speak with Sachin today.
Yeah, please. From now, the concepts are we have to go little depth so that the recordings are there. So mate is very helpful for you.
Got it. I will speak with Sachin and make them available.
Yeah. Okay, this is for CADR range block, CADR range class. So I'm going to take now 15 minutes from now to explain the concept of private networks. Okay, let me take paint here. One more slide here. Okay, so guys, whenever if you can take a VPCs, any region, if you can go here. So by default, AWS is created default network. See, this VPC I haven't created anywhere. VPC is here. See, I haven't created this VPC. I haven't created this subnet. So by default, AWS created a default network. This default network is nothing but public network. This is public subnet, public VPC and all whatever. But in real time, we have to create our own network. So in that case, we have created VPCs, we have created a subnets and all, right? But the important thing is here, public subnet and a private subnet. What is public subnet? What is private subnet? For example, you got a requirement. The requirement is to create two servers. Server one is for public, two servers means one is public, one is private. And one is private. So what we can understand here, that the requirement is to create a two servers, one is public and one is private. So definitely we have to create one VPC. Let's go here. First step is to create a VPC or existing VPC. Already VPC there means we can use the existing VPC. Every time no need to create a VPCs. So this is my VPC. So this is very important classes, the custom network and all, the troubleshoot as a DevOps engineers we have to take care here. So VPC is ready. My VPC is ready means I'm giving CIDR also for better clarity. 10.0.0.0. So better to give 16. You also don't give 24 for VPC. Arranging is very difficult. You cannot create multiple subnets if you give 24. So one VPC is created. So now definitely the requirement, if you can understand, two servers, one is public, one is private. If the two servers are public means, so I can create one subnet only. The same requirement for two servers. But the requirement, if you can see the requirement, two different scenarios. One is public, one is private. So network inside network means subnet. So what I can do here, I can create a two servers. Sorry, two subnets. One is public subnet and one is private subnet. So public subnet is to deploy a public server. So private subnet is to deploy private server. Okay. So public server we can deploy here, private server we can deploy here. But if you observe one thing very carefully here, while I'm creating a subnet, there is no any process for creation of public subnet, creation of private subnet. So the system only asks to create a subnet only. So here there is no any step to create a only public subnet and private subnet. So what we can understand here, we can create a subnets first. So we can make it as a public subnet later. How to make it as a public subnet? We'll allow internet to public subnet only. So that is public server. So for example, this is my developer. If my developer want to connect like this inside server, it is not possible. Private subnet means we should launch private servers only. Private server means no internet, no public IP. So no public IP means you are unable to connect. So yesterday class, we already discussed. So we can connect the server by using public IP, key pair, private key and protocol. But private server public IP is missing. Then how you can connect the server from external? You are external, not inside of the AWS network. So definitely it is not possible. So this is AWS network. So if I take here AWS, yeah, this is AWS environment. You are not inside. For example, your laptop is here means you are inside of the network. In this case, you can connect private server directly. Private IP will allow us to communicate internal request only, not external request. So public IP is not like that. Public IP will allow us the external request also. So for example, this is my laptop. If I have a internet, see yesterday we already connected with internet only, right? Without internet, we are unable to connect even. So if you have internet, by using public IP, so public IP and a private key. So public IP and private key and a protocol. So by using these three, we have connected means what? That is public server only. The reason public IP is enabled for only public server, not for private server. In this case, for example, if you launch a server here, so this server you can easily connect by using these 3 parameters like this. What about private server? Private server, there is no public IP. So this is not possible to connect. So we will discuss later how to connect private server anyway. So in this case, my requirement is what? Need to launch public server, private server. In this case, definitely we have to create 2 networks. The two networks in net VPC is the network. Network inside you have to create 2 networks. One is for public network, one is for private network. So network inside network concept is what? Subnet concept. So to launch a public server, I need to create a public subnet. If I want to launch a private server, I need to create a private server. Private server is nothing but it will not allow for, if anyone try to connect from the external by using internet, it will not allow to connect. Public server is nothing but what? If anyone try to connect the server from external by using internet, they are able to connect. That is using public IP. So these 2 concepts we have to be clear first. Okay. So now we need to understand what is public subnet, what is private subnet. So from where we can create a public subnet, from where we can create a private subnet. So as I said, there is no any public subnet creation process, private server, public subnet creation process, private subnet creation process. So we have to make it as a public subnet after create a subnet. So these are first 2 are only subnets only. It is not a public, it is not a private. We need to make it as a public subnet. This is. So we need to make it as a private subnet. This is. So before understanding this point, we need to understand one more important thing, that is internet gateway. So we have a concept is internet gateway. So this internet gateway is nothing but it will help to take the request from external to internal. So whenever you can create internet gateway, if you attach this internet gateway to VPC, first this VPC will take the request from external. Through internet gateway only it will allow to connect. So if there is no internet gateway, first of all, your request will not travel to your AWS. So whenever you can create internet gateway and attach to VPC means your VPC is able to take the internet from external first. And your internet is here, VPC level. Your internet is VPC level. Whenever you can create internet gateway and attach to VPC means, so your request will come from external to internet gateway first. Okay. So now internet gateway is there for VPC, but if you want to use this internet gateway to your subnet, so we have a one more concept, that is route table. So what is route table here? Route table is nothing but we'll use the route table to route the traffic from one place to other place. So we have a router in our homes, the router to route the internet from internet gateway to your home. Same here, the route table is nothing but here, route the traffic. Internet gateway to required location, required device. So internet gateway is here. IG means internet gateway helps to take the request from external by using internet. Okay. So now here we can see here, my internet is there inside VPC. Internet gateway attached to VPC. This internet gateway we have to create inside AWS only. So now after that we have to create a route table. Purpose of the route table is internet is there in internet gateway only, but I need to route from here to my subnet. In that case, my subnet will become a public subnet. So whenever you can create a route table here, so we have created only route table, but internet is there here only. To get internet to here means first we need to route from here to route table, and then a route table to submit. Here two entries are there. First entry is to create internet gateway. Second entry is to create a route table. After that, allow the routing from internet gateway to route table and route table to submit. Now this is public submit. Reason internet is routing. Still this is private subnet. There is no any internet configuration. Still it is a private subnet. So your internet is there. Now you can create a server. You can create a server inside the public subnet. Now this is public server. And now you can create one more server. This is private server. The requirement is create two servers. One is public, one is private. Public server can communicate to everyone. Now the request is stay here. Now request is routing to here and here and here to here. Whenever you can route the traffic, route the internet to subnet means inside instances will become a public because of this. This is public subnet. If you want, if you will, so EC2. This is EC2. Now this is private. How can I say private? There is any configurations from internet to here. This is completely isolation. Isolation means definitely no one can access from external. There is no internet gateway routing. So the request will come stay here only. Otherwise it will go for here only, but not like route here. So this is private. So once again, I will explain the steps to create a private server. Steps to create public server. Steps to create public server first. Steps to create public subnet first. Then we can create a private public subnet. Okay, the first step is step number 1. Create a VPC. If VPC is not existing. So no need to create every time VPC, guys. Once VPC is there, the respective project, you can use the VPC. You can use the VPC and create different subnets. No need to create every time VPCs. If it is the same project, different project means account also different account. So we can create our fresh VPCs. So step 1 is to create VPC. Okay, VPC created the outer layer. Step 2 is to create a subnets. Okay. Step 2 is to create a subnet. Only one subnet. I'm talking about public process only. Create a subnet. So this subnet is maybe public or private at this time. This is private only, no configurations. When it will become a public, when we can create an internet gateway. Next step is create internet gateway and attach to VPC. Okay, so step 3 is create an internet gateway and attach to VPC. And step 4 is to route the traffic from internet gateway to subnet. We need any device, that is we need one device, that is route table. So create route table. And creation of route table is not a solution. We have to route the traffic. So now route the traffic. So route the internet, sorry. Route the internet from IG to RT. So this is IG to RT. And next, step 6 is route the internet from RT to subnet. Now this subnet is public subnet. Okay, required subnet. So it is public now. Internet is coming. So finally your subnet is ready. Now you can create EC2 instance. While creating EC2 instance, we have to select VPC and subnet, right? We have to select same subnet. This is steps to create public subnet. What about steps to create private subnet? Nothing is there. Simply create subnet only. So no need to create again VPC. VPC is already there, right? So you can just use the same VPC. The first step is what? Create subnet and launch instance. Whenever you create a subnet, that is private subnet only until you configure internet gateway and route table. Launch instance. So in this case, may you have a doubt. Then how I'm going to access directly from external connection to yesterday we have tested, right? Yesterday we have tested one instance we have connected, right? But in that case, we haven't created any route table. We haven't created any internet gateway. Then how am I able to connect public instance from external? In this case, I'm using default VPC. Default VPC, default subnet means, as I said, default network AWS already provided for us to do the practice. The default network means public network. In this case, whatever steps we discuss now, in that case, definitely the background AWS also follows, right? To provide public subnet means by default, they provide public subnet means definitely they need to follow these steps, right? Definitely they need to follow same steps. So if I can go and have a look now, this is okay, different region here. Subnets are there. So these subnets are public or private. We don't know, right? But definitely these are public. The AWS provides the public network only for the practice. In this case, whenever public network, definitely internet gateway is created, right? Let's go and check the internet gateway. See, internet gateway already created. Definitely this internet gateway is attached to VPC, right? So I have internet gateway is attached to this VPC. In this case, route table also there, right? See, route table also there. In this case, the route table routings are there. Routings also there, right? If you can click on the routings, routing is there for internet gateway too. Sorry, routing is there for internet gateway. So the routings are there. Internet gateway means this is edit route option. This is already done. So this is the step. This step, edit route step is this one. Internet gateway to route table. This is edit route step. Edit routes. So here only we can enable this option. That route the traffic from here to here. So route the traffic from here to means we can go for edit routes. So already this is there. This is public network. I haven't created any route table. I haven't created an internet gateway. So they are routing from 00 means all traffic to internet gateway. I mean internet gateway to route table. It is a routing. And next step is what here? Next routing route table to subnet. So definitely they have selected subnet also. Subnet association we have to check here. So these subnets are associated already. Means this is public network by default. If you want to create your own public network means, so we have to create internet gateway after VPC. We have to create a route table. We have to route the traffic from internet gateway to something. Why? If I create a own VPC, so no internet gateway attached. We have to create internet gateway to attach to make it as a public network. So if you use the default VPC, everything is already there. But in the real time, we are not supposed to use the default network. We have to use the custom network. So in this case, either public or private, we have to create our own VPC. We have to create our own subnets. We have to create internet gateway. We have to attach to subnet if it is a public subnet. We have to route the traffic from internet gateway to route table and route table to subnet to provide the routing from internet to make a public subnet. And next time onwards, again one more requirement is coming to create one more public server. So we can use here only. This is public subnet. You can create one more server, public server. Like this. The requirement is private server. You can create private subnet inside. If the project is same. No need to create again public subnet since we have a public subnet. So clear? Anyway, the tomorrow lab you will get better clarity. This is for just theory only. Maybe it may confuse. I will give the clarification on tomorrow in the lab itself. Is this clear? Any questions? This is little complicated network configurations. But if you understand the theory, it is very, very easy. So tomorrow I will show you how to do this, our own public network, our own private network. So these are the basic concepts, very important concepts. Either cloud engineer or DevOps engineer must and should know these concepts. So as a DevOps journey, the code is ready. Developers are developed the code. We have to deploy the code. To deploy the code, we have to create the server. To create the server, first we have to create the network. So the network is nothing but VPs and subnets and all. Once network configurations and server creation completion done, now you can deploy your code from there to there. This is entire DevOps tasks. Clear? Any
Veera, I
questions?
have one question.
Yes, Vinay.
Yeah, for custom VPC and subnets, this internet gateway and routing, AWS will charge for these customs.
Obviously, but AWS by default they will give 750 hours for free of cost, right? So these
Yeah.
are comes under their 750 hours. No need to worry about that. But there is a different. I will inform that there is a NAT gateway. There is Elastic APIs. Those are not comes under free tier. So remaining all comes under free tier only. I will inform if there any chargeable service are there. No problem.
Yeah, that's it, Veera. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Veera, one question.
Yes, Dharma.
When creating a standard block, you use it only like 10.0 point like that you use it, right? Why
Yeah.
don't you use 172 or
You
198
can use.
starts with?
You can use. No problem. The series you can use for 173, 174 till 255 in between. The first in place of 10. But usually the default series start from 10. We can consider like that on the real time. You can use anything, no problem.
Okay.
But we cannot use the series start from 256 as we know. It should be in the 250 inside. Since it is a 8-bit, 8-bit means if you convert into the binary form, 8 once the maximum value is 256. If you want to create 257, the bit value will be increased to 9 bits. So it is not possible for IPv4.
Okay.
Any questions from any others? Guess this flow is okay or so what? Any suggestions? So is required any? The flow is okay or a little slow or little fast? Any?
This flow is okay, Veera.
This flow is okay. Okay.
We are good with this.
Okay. So these are the prerequisites for DevOps, guys. So once we complete the network, so tomorrow I will show you how to create a public network and private network. We are good to go for the target and requirements and all. We can create a own VPC, we can create own subnet, we can create own server. Then we can deploy the application. Then we can focus on how to create application to the server. So from tomorrow, the classes are very interesting. The coming 3-4 classes are very important for AWS only. After that, I will show you auto scaling concept, load balancer concept also. Once we complete, we will go for different service AWS S3, storage service, and IAM service. These two are very important as a DevOps engineer. So coming 10 days, we will complete the AWS portion for required DevOps engineer only. For the required DevOps engineer role, these 10 days I will complete. After that, we will start Git and Terraform and Jenkins and Kubernetes and Docker. Yeah, so many services are there. Tools are there. So 2 months is okay for you, right? Usually we will give 3.5 months, but 3.5 is very, the duration is very lengthy, right? So that's what, if you're okay means I don't have any problem. But don't expect for 1 month and 1.5 months. That is very, very difficult to show you 1 and 1.5 month in DevOps and cloud. Better to stay at least 2 months. Anyway, be in touch. After complete 2 months also, I will help you if you are stuck anywhere in interviews anywhere. I will help you.
Sure, Veera.
We have a big team here, big colleagues and all. Don't worry to get a job. We'll take care. But you have to do practice. So please don't compromise, guys. Whatever question you have, you can ask. Don't compromise. Clear?
Yes, Veera.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to end up this call.